What if the truth you've believed your whole life was built on lies? What if every answer only raised more questions? In a world where justice is promised, but doubt lingers in every corner, how far would you go to protect yourself? And how far would others go to destroy you? The season opens not with peace, but with tension heavy in the air. A city that never sleeps feels quieter than usual, like it's holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. A courthouse stands tall in the middle of the storm, its windows glowing faintly against the night sky. On the outside, it looks strong and unshakable. But on the inside, secrets and betrayals move silently like shadows in the dark. The story begins here, where the law is supposed to be clear but is clouded with questions no one dares to answer. Inside these walls, cases pile up like unsolved riddles, each file telling a story of broken trust, missing truths, and lives torn apart. Nothing feels certain, not even the people who are sworn to protect the truth. Whispers travel through the halls, rumors of corruption, of deals made in the dark, of evidence that vanishes before anyone can see it. And somewhere among these whispers lies the spark that sets this season on fire. A case so dangerous, so personal, that it shakes the foundation of everyone involved. This isn't just another trial, it's a fight for survival. Judges, lawyers, detectives, everyone is caught in a game they can't control. Each of them carries a secret, a weakness that could bring them down at any moment. And while they fight to win inside the courtroom, outside the streets tell a different story. Families waiting for justice that never comes, victims lost in the shuffle of legal battles, and enemies who know how to play the system better than anyone. The tension grows with every step, with every glance, with every word that hangs in the air too long. Trust is a rare currency here, and it's running out fast. Friends question friends, partners doubt each other, even family ties are tested. Because when reasonable doubt exists, no bond is safe. The case at the heart of this season is not just about guilt or innocence, it's about the dangerous line between truth and survival. And when that line blurs, justice becomes nothing more than a gamble. As the story unfolds, you begin to see how fragile everything really is. A simple decision, a single lie, a missing piece of evidence, each one carries the weight to change lives forever. The deeper you look, the clearer it becomes. This isn't a season about winning or losing in court. It's about exposing what people will do when they're pushed to the edge, when fear takes over, when trust disappears. Every step closer to the truth only creates more questions. And with each question comes more doubt. This season doesn't promise clear answers. It promises conflict, betrayal, and choices that cut deeper than the law itself. Because when the lights dim and the gavel falls, the truth doesn't set you free, traps you in a web where everyone is a suspect, and no one is safe. The case grows louder, not in words but in silence. Silence has a way of speaking the truth, and in this city, silence is the loudest warning of all. People stop talking when danger gets too close. They look over their shoulders, afraid that one wrong move will turn them into the next victim of a system they no longer trust. This season, the silence is almost unbearable, thick, heavy, waiting to crack open and release a storm no one can. Escaped at the center of it all stands a trial that feels less like justice and more like war. The courtroom isn't just a place of law anymore, it's a battlefield. The lawyers don't simply argue. They strike like fighters, each word designed to cut, each question meant to break someone down piece by piece. Every testimony feels rehearsed. Every piece of evidence feels like it hides more than it reveals. Even the jury, the supposed keepers of truth, watch nervously, as if they too wonder whether justice can survive the lies building around them. But beyond the courtroom walls, the real danger brews in the shadows. Secrets that were once whispered now hang like daggers in the open. The lives of those involved are unraveling outside the legal fight, families falling apart, friendships shattering, loyalties turning to ash. Everyone has something to lose, and when people have something to lose, they become dangerous. One false move could end a career. One wrong answer could end a life. This season doesn't just show a battle of evidence, it shows a battle of hearts and minds. Fear spreads faster than truth. Doubt crawls into every corner, poisoning even the strongest alliances. A detective who once believed in justice now questions his own choices. A lawyer who built her career on facts now wonders if facts mean anything at all. And a judge, supposed to stand above it all, feels the weight of pressure threatening to pull him down. The case becomes personal. It no longer belongs to the city, to the courts, or to the victims. It belongs to every person forced to face their darkest truth. This isn't about crime anymore, it's about identity, trust, and the desperate fight to hold on to something real in a world where lies feel stronger than facts. As the tension builds, you begin to see the cracks in the system. Evidence appears when it shouldn't. Witnesses vanish before they can speak. Files go missing, only to reappear in the hands of the wrong people. It's clear now this case was never meant to be fair. It was built to break people, to crush them under the weight of reasonable doubt. But even in the chaos, a single question burns brighter than all the rest. Who is pulling the strings? Someone is moving pieces behind the curtain. Someone who benefits from the confusion. Someone who knows that in doubt, there is power. The season turns from courtroom drama to psychological warfare. And the characters are left wondering if they're chasing justice, or running straight into a trap. And just when you think you've found the truth, it slips away, replaced by another layer of secrets, another betrayal, another reason not to trust anyone. The deeper the case goes, the darker it becomes. Every person is a suspect. Every decision carries blood on its hands. The line between friend and enemy, truth and lie, guilt and innocence, it all disappears in the smoke of doubt. This isn't just a trial anymore. It's a haunting, a season where the shadows speak louder than the light, where every truth is half a lie, and where survival means sacrificing more than anyone is willing to lose. Doubt doesn't just stay in the courtroom, it spreads. Like smoke from a fire, it seeps into homes, friendships, and even the quiet moments that should feel safe. This is where the cracks begin to show. People who once trusted each other start to look with suspicion. Words that were once kind now carry hidden meanings. Promises that felt unbreakable turn into questions no one dares to answer. In this season, betrayal isn't loud. It doesn't come with a gunshot or a dramatic fall. It comes in whispers. A text message sent too late at night. A document passed under the table. A phone call that ends the second someone else walks into the room. Betrayal hides itself in the details, and by the time you notice, it's already too late. The characters are pulled apart, not by violence, but by the quiet unraveling of trust. For some, it's family. Blood ties that were supposed to protect become shackles that choke. Secrets buried for years rise to the surface, threatening to tear apart the last threads holding them together. A son begins to wonder if his father has always been honest. A mother hides the truth to protect her child, even as that lie threatens to destroy them both. The home, once a place of safety, turns into another courtroom judgment without mercy. For others, it's friendship. People who once stood side by side now question each other's motives. The strongest bonds weaken under the weight of hidden agendas. A partner's silence feels like betrayal. A friend's hesitation feels like a knife in the back. And in this season, hesitation is enough to kill trust. Then there are the lovers, the ones who believed love would rise above doubt. But in this world, even love is fragile. A kiss becomes suspicious. A late arrival becomes an accusation. The heart, which should be a shield, becomes the easiest weapon to use. When love is poisoned by doubt, every embrace feels dangerous. Every I love you sounds like a lie waiting to be exposed. The personal cost becomes heavier than the case itself. Sleep disappears. Nightmares replace rest. Food turns to ash because every bite tastes like guilt. Faces in the mirror become strangers, as if even the reflection has begun to doubt who it belongs to. Doubt doesn't just question others, it begins to question you. And once you start doubting yourself, there is no safe ground left to stand on. This season forces each character into corners they can't escape. They must choose between survival and loyalty, between the truth and the people they love. But in a world filled with reasonable doubt, even the act of choosing feels dangerous. Every decision carries a price, and no one can afford it. Some will pay with their careers, some will pay with their families, and some will pay with their lives. The pain isn't only in what's lost, but in what's revealed. Betrayal shows the darkest sides of people, the greed, the fear, the hunger for control, but it also shows how fragile hope really is. A single spark of honesty can still exist, but it struggles to survive under the weight of lies. And in this season, that spark may not be enough here. The courtroom is no longer the only stage. The living room, the bedroom, the street corner all become arenas of conflict. Doubt follows like a shadow, and it never lets go. Even in laughter, suspicion lingers. Even in silence, fear grows. And just when you think someone has nothing left to hide, you find out their biggest secret has only just begun to surface. This is the heart of Season 3. Not just the fight for justice, but the fight for trust, for love, for identity. Because when betrayal becomes normal, and when every bond is tested, the question is no longer who is guilty. The question becomes who will survive the truth. The storm finally breaks. All the whispers, the betrayals, the secrets, they explode into a fire that no one can contain. The city that once seemed quiet now shakes with chaos. Courtrooms erupt into shouting. Streets flood with flashing lights. and every character finds themselves standing at the edge of a cliff they cannot step back from. This is where the season stops holding back. This is where masks are ripped away. The case that began as a legal battle transforms into something far darker. It is no longer about truth, it is about survival. Evidence that was buried comes to light, but instead of providing answers, it opens deeper wounds. The closer anyone gets to the truth, the more dangerous it becomes. And when the final pieces are revealed, it is no longer clear whether justice is being served or destroyed. In these final moments, alliances collapse. Friends become enemies. Enemies become unexpected allies. Every choice feels like a trap, and every step forward feels like a fall into the unknown. A detective, once proud of his honor, makes a choice that will haunt him forever. A lawyer, who swore to defend the innocent, crosses a line she swore she never would. A family, torn apart by secrets, faces the kind of truth that cannot be forgiven. The music of this season is chaos, the slam of doors, the pounding of fists, the echo of broken promises. The rhythm is fear, and it beats in every character's chest. Some try to run, some try to fight, but no one escapes, because in the world of reasonable doubt, there is no clean ending. There are only scars. The climax strikes like lightning. A confrontation no one expected leaves the city shaken to its core. Identities are shattered, lies are exposed, and the one person who seemed untouchable finally falls. But even in that fall, the question remains, was justice truly served, or was this just another trick of doubt? The season closes not with answers, but with silence. Not the silence of peace, but the silence of fear, an unfinished sentence. A door left half open, a shadow standing just out of sight. The audience is left asking the same question as the characters. What is the truth? Because the truth isn't simple. The truth isn't safe. The truth is dangerous. And this season proves that when doubt rules the game, no one walks away clean. Reasonable Doubt. Season 3. This season, justice has a price and everyone must pay.